and then for it to be there years and years and years of the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Even Brother Campy said that it was never going to over. Yeah, Brother Campy lying ass. Of course, he knows that because he knows it was an invasion, but he don't speak on that. Brother Campy, they're speaking about Israel this and Israel that, and 144,000, they're gonna be blessed, and you're gonna be blessed, and the only way you can get blessed is you have to come to Jesus Christ, which is Baphomet to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the same attribute. You know what I'm saying? You've never seen neither one, and everyone is always a picture or a statue. You know what I'm saying? So how the hell did you ever see this? And how the hell you have the, it's gonna be a bliss, and then it's gonna bliss. You know what I'm saying? You keep on with that nonsense rather than looking at the scientific truthism of the facts. We see 17,400,000, a million, I'm sorry, in U.S. Treasury dumped by the BRICS nations, China, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia in 1 month. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But we see founding BRICS members, China. This is the name, BRICS. You know what I'm saying? Members China, Brazil, along with newcomer Saudi Arabia, or quietly unloading their U.S. Treasury holdings. You know what I'm saying? New numbers from the U.S. Treasury Department shows China ownership of the Treasury security dropped from dropped from 835.4 billion at the start of July to 821.8 billion at the end of the month, a decline of 13.6 billion. Hold on, hold on. They're trying to deflate our country and our wealth by all means. I expect that because you've been feeding them ever since. Uh-huh. You've been feeding them ever since. But we see as war broke out, Trump focused on Tisha James' New York fraud trial as the war break out. You know what I'm saying? As the war break out, he focused on the Tisha James New York fraud trial. This is coming about Olivia, whatever your name is, 1 day ago, coming off the Politico. Let's see here. From Politico, I said. Donald Trump remains hyper focused on New York General Tisha James as tension in the Middle East escalates. First of all, wait a minute. What the fuck is he talking about? This man is in court for some bullshit that the blood sucking demon Democrats jumped up on this man, digging into his personal business, doing all type of attacks on the man that should have been long time. His name should have been out of the question when it comes to anything to do with any Stormy Daniels, when it had anything to do with anything else, and all these different 91 charges and accusations that you are putting on this man, for him to focus on the Middle East, which in you, the demon Democrats, is the one who caused this to happen in the first place. So my suggestion to you is, while you're worrying about Donald J. Trump, you should be worrying about your dumb ass and your crooked shit that you are doing in the Middle East and have always been doing, driving these countries into Africa and then saying you have a claim there. You know what I'm saying? You need to take your stinking blood sucking cultic fucking idiot ass demon blood clot sucking demon Democrats out of my goddamn face. Talking about Trump is not paying attention. This man is fighting some a setup, and you don't he has time to just focus on everything. He's not the president of the United States, you motherfucking jackasses. The fuck is he talking about? Why should he be focused on that only? He's not the president of the United States, and he don't make the policies, and he's not the head figure. Creepy Joe Biden is, and his crooked criminal actions against humanity, using NATO, the criminal organization, against Russia by sparking the fire by way of Ukraine. Don't give me that bullshit. My fucking face. Those clowns writing stupid shit and you having people read that dumb shit. Political, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Dropbox have become key in election conspiracy theory to demon Democrats just fuel those claims. Oh yes, we know the Dropboxes was a crook game anyway, even though it had been around or been not. The job boxes became one of the key issues, along with whatever warehouse and Xerox copy machine with 50 million people in that fucking warehouse, probably putting names of dead people off of grave sites and all kinds of dead people names on it, and throwing these ballots into the boxes that were never checked to see if the person was even fucking alive, mentally impaired, or whatever the case may fucking be. You a lying sack of piece of shit that cheated the election away from Donald J. Trump, the president who would have changed everything. You voted for this man, and now you have nuclear war, who could possibly be one day on your doorstep and your children's doorstep. I wonder what your children is going to say when that happens and you are gone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we see the drop boxes became a key to the election conspiracy theory. And it is, and it was, just like the voting machine. You know what I'm saying? Two Democrats just fueled those claims. You know what I'm saying? By Christine A. Cassidy and Susan, look like Higgs or something like that. One day ago, coming off the Associated Press in all ways. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where, Hartford, Connecticut AP, a woman approach. Yeah, but a woman approached a drop box in the dark with what appears to be a handful of ballots. At a different drop box, someone else, someone else, someone else is seen making multiple trips to insert ballots. At yet another, the same car on stops on at least three separate occasions with different people stepping out and heading to the drop box. So we know this is how they did it. It does. You see, if this is true, and what you're saying is true, and I believe it's true, and I believe we've been doing that last year as well. You know, huh? And dropping these ballots in there, the first thing they're going to say is they were claiming these ballots from someone else in the neighborhood, and they're probably old, and they probably couldn't get out, and we're helping them to get their votes. And, so what? You know what I mean? This is a trick. I told people that before. Drop boxes need to be do away with, and that's a fact. Every single vote should be done in person. As a fact, they're cheating our elections every which way but loose. And many people probably have not been paying close attention to the political shit at all because it is tiring, it wears you down, and it's full of garbage. When we're talking about human life and life itself, not dictatorship over every human life itself. You know what I'm saying? This is why they want to stay in power. Because they want to have the right to command the military, turn them into faggots, probably. You know what I'm saying? Have them screwing each other on the Navy ship in the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And all type of nasty behavioral garbage that you would not fucking believe. Because you see, in the Luciferian world, this is considered, you know, their glory of charm by saying wicked is good, chaos, you know what I'm saying, and anarchy, hell burning, and people wilding and all over this shit going crazy everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But what they're catching you by is that subconscious mind that you're not using, the eye of the mind that you're not using, but taking at face value, and that face value is what you have only seen. Whether you learn it from your parents, or whether you learn it from your own experience. Sis. Because not every experience is good, and not every experience is true, and not every experience was there to hurt you. Many of them were there to teach you the lessons that you are going in the wrong direction. So let's pay attention. But we see it's not a trailer, it's not a trailer or whatever for the latest conspiracy voted about rigging election. Instead, the video footage, you know what I'm saying, has become central to real world controversial over potentially fraud involving potential fraud involving ballot box, a favorite target or the favorite target of the right wing conspiracy theory since the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, lost the election. No, 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 you fucking idiot. This has not become no theory since he lost the election, you fucking jackass. We've been saying you've been cheating the election for a long time. Not just with bump head fucking knuckle beast head fucking Baphomet creep Joe Biden and his crew, or Donald Trump and the right way. No, no. This goes back even to Bush and Gore. This even go back further than that. You've been fucking up on cheating our election for many, many years, you demon, blood clot, sucking ass, psychotherapy, necromaniac, mother, nutcase, jackass. And you want the rest of the world to believe that you're not doing that. Oh no, we're such goody two shoes and so superior, We have a croissant over here with some caviar, and all, and we had yam steak while you yan shitty bumhole meat. You are full of shit. You know what I'm saying? This has been going on ever since. And as a matter of fact, it is one of the ways you use to cheat the election, aside from even the Electoral College. You falsify documents, you you throw out classified documents, you know what I'm saying? You falsify the documents of even the voters, you know what I'm saying? And then you throw out the legitimate documents and ballots of the right way and the rightness of the people to have the integrity of the voting process to be 100%. It has never been. They will cheat this motherfucker as much as they possibly can. You know what I'm saying? But the accusations of Dropbox fraud, are not coming from those pushing fringe election claims or from skeptical Republicans who have long favored, eliminating or severely restricting use of the box. And that is true. They need to do that. Let me tell you something. Every voter should not have the right to use a ballot boxes. And for you to use a ballot box, there must be 100% documentation as to why. There must be 100% documentation as to the ID, the class and the person's ID to match up to his ballot and where his ballots are going. That we know that, and the ballots must be checked for every single classification of ID, not ID written on it saying I do, but showing the ID and a copy of that ID and all this different stuff. I'm sorry to say it, but that's the way it should have been. Now, if you don't want that, then we must have a measure in place to limit it down to where it comes to that. Because if let's say they are old person and they can't make it out of the house, but they want to, place a ballot. You can do that by computer, or not just by computer, but you can also run the ID. There has to be a way of scanning their ID that links up somewhere to where we know for a fact. Because for them to just ride around all night long, way before the election, even since probably last year, you know what I'm saying, and dumping mail these ballots into the boxes and saying that they're legitimate to the point that when they're open, they're checked and everything and the ID and all this and this. This is why they wanted to get rid of voter ID. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine the American people actually went along with that shit too? Talking about bringing down the filibuster, changing voter ID so anybody could vote. So now you have people riding around since 2 years ago throwing mail in the boxes, all for the demon Democrats. That's cheating. That's cheating. And they should be locked up in prison for that while you're talking about voter fraud with Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? But now he's saying that the fraud fringe is not the, you know what I'm saying, it's not the, it's the Republicans who had severely restrict, the use of ballot boxes. They are being made by the demon Democrats. Two candidates, verified for the mayor, vying or whatever, vying for the mayor in Connecticut, larger larger cities, in a heavily demon Democratic state that began allowing drop boxes to be used during the COVID-19 pandemic. There it is. You see? You see? So they allow it to be used during the COVID that this particular state, I guess is I think Connecticut, say brought it in during COVID-19. So now you have ballot boxes that were brought in by COVID-19 all over America's process of the political process through COVID-19. So they use COVID-19 to cheat the election with Donald J. Trump and creepy ass nutcase, blood sucking Hillary Clinton and other candidates, probably Obama or 09. But at the same time, now that COVID-19 is spread all over, they have not rescinded them and its usage, restricting the use and the passage of that. They've left them out there. You see what I'm saying? So the even Democrats is now going to use that all the way up to now, from all the way then, to cheat the election in 2024. So now we know what the even Democrats, I'm saying, so the COVID-19, certificate of vaccination identification, COVID-19 pandemic bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where the Republicans have seized uh, have seized on the spat, which is now, headed to a legal showdown that could result in a new election. To say it's validate, to say it validate their concern that the drop boxes are ripe for fraud. Oh yeah, that means we have to do the same thing when it comes to the pre-Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump election while you're busy talking about voter fraud. The state, the state rep Doug Dobrisky or whatever his name is, a Republican, invoked the widely debunked movie 2000 news during a, a legislative debate over the controversy surrounding the Bridgeport mayor race. How do we know that it's only Bridgeport? Hmm. I wonder. I wonder if so. Hmm. Said Dubitsky, you know what I'm saying? Who represents an area of the state that has grown more conservative in the Trump's era. This exact same thing could be happening in every single municipality in this state. We should get rid of these boxes completely. Let's just be honest He is right. On the surface, the controversy is a local matter. Two candidates are accusing each other of fraud in the municipal election, its ripple effects travel far beyond the city, 148,000, and could have uh, implications for the election next year across the country, and it should. You know what I'm saying? And it should. Let's just be honest here. Let's just be honest here. You know what I'm saying? We see the greatest death spirals in human history. The greatest spiral in human history, and is now terminal. Mm, so you see, but we see 45 GOP representatives sign a letter to Republican to Republican conference demanding change to the House Speaker removal process. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you're holding too much power, if you ask me, and you need to be kicked the fuck out of there if you ain't gonna do the job of the people any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? While you talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we see where they wanted to do a removal, but we see here this one, we see Madison Hall 2 days ago, you know what I'm saying, Business Insider. You know what I'm saying? It took members of Congress to begin the process of ousting the former House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy. Now, a group of 45 GOP lawmakers are demanding change to the House rules. That's right. That's right. Less than a week after majority members in the House of Representatives voted to oust Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, a group of 45 groups representatives signed on to a letter to Republican leadership demanding change, you know what I'm saying, to the chamber's rules. You know what I mean? In more ways than one, it needs to be. It needs to be. On Monday, the Republican Matt Gaetz filed a motion to vacate to formally begin the process of removing McCarthy from leadership posts. Yes, because he's a crook from the old book. He was a deep state. That's why when Nancy Pelosi left, he jumped in the motherfucking spot to complete the job. You know what I'm saying? Now he probably don't give a fuck about being ousted. He did the damage, and the damage is already done. Just like with Nancy Pelosi done said. You know what I mean? She did the same fuckery for years with a bone skeleton fucking dead ass. You know what I'm saying? But we see the formally began the process of removing McCarthy leadership. A day later, the even Democrats voted to lockstep alongside 8 Republicans to to form the simple majority needed to boot the California native the fuck out, which he needed to be. You know what I'm saying? We see here where, you know what I'm saying? We see here where, you know what I'm saying, the first time that happened in U.S. history. The first time it happened in U.S. It ain't no fucking first time. You know what I'm saying? What it is just, it happened now. Nobody want to hear that history shit. Get rid of these fucking tyrants out of our government and stop playing Chinese checkers. Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where Rep. Patrick Henry is currently serving as interim Speaker of the House until the chamber can collectively decide on a new one. But before that vote happens, there are a contingencies of Republicans trying to ensure the next full-fledged Speaker would suffer a similar as McCarthy, and that is right. And that is right. 100%. That is right. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see, because you got to tighten up these belts. You got to tighten up these belts. You know what I'm saying? We see the U.S. is sending its most advanced aircraft carrier and its heavily armed strike group to Israel coast. Oh, you see how fast they responded to Israel coast? Oh, yeah, because in the minds of the people, we believe that they're protecting the holy city of God. But that's Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what holy is they're talking about. When they quick to respond to them, but do they respond to the slave trade on the African people, the sex trafficking on the people of the world and their children and everything else going on? But you quick to jump to this position because you know that the Israel was put there to be a strategic position for you to keep on entering into Africa with war machines and killing and murdering the people, calling them terrorists for rebelling against the invasion of the white man into that land. Not only him, but the United States itself. You know what I'm saying? Sending it to Israel. Oh yeah, we see the demon Democrats. You know what I'm saying? See how quick they respond to shit that they don't do for no one else. They are exerting their new world order across the planet by all means. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having Israel come to an agreement, you know what I'm saying, and the removal of Israel from Egypt, you know what I'm saying, calling it a holy land and writing a Bible to fake out the people's minds to believe so. You know what I'm saying? Who they can't prove none of that shit, and if they do, they're gonna fall on their face. You know what I'm saying? But you quick to run over there in the minds of the people, and you're saving God's land. You know what I'm saying? Which is Africa. It doesn't make any sense, do it? You know what I'm saying? But you see, the Democrats spark fury with Gaza comment, you know, immoral. You know what I'm saying? Immoral. You know, in more ways than one, we see the comment become so immoral all of a sudden, I say. You know, in all ways we see this. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in by at least, you know, Higman on 10/8/2023 at 1:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? In all ways than one, we see this going on. We see this going on in all ways in itself. So we want to see what is going on. But we see here where, let's see what we got here with this food. Let's see what we got here with this. Let's see what we got here with this food. Let's see what we got here with this food. You know what I'm saying? He up been running his chopper down, motherfucking MD. So let's see what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what this food talking about. You know what I mean? And we'll leave that one. Let's get with it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think parents in this country, as they're putting their young kids into pajamas at night and they're tucking them in to bed, you think they're worried about public urination in Washington, D.C., or you think they're worried about sending their kid to school and their kid not coming home? You guys want to talk about D.C. public schools and crime? I don't want to burst your bubble over there, but mass murder in schools is crime. That's crime. You want to talk about 1,300 cars being stolen? 550 people have been murdered in school. Who cares about the cars? What about the kids? No hearing for them. 338,000 kids have experienced gun violence in this country. The number one killer of school-aged children in this country, gun violence.
Well, from what this clown is talking about, from what we see, you know what I'm saying? From what we see, from what we see, is he's trying to say, listen to this, listen to this. He's trying to say, his name, I guess he's a representative, Jared McQuaski or whatever it is, sounds Russian to me, McQuaski and all that foolishness. A Florida demon Democrat has come under fire for a post about Hamas attack on Israel this week. The armed the armed wing of Hamas launched an attack on it earlier Saturday morning and so forth. You know what I'm saying? With the Prime Minister now saying that the war creep Joe Biden affirmed his support. Oh yeah, you definitely. But what about Sudan? You know what I mean? And Ethiopia, you clown mother. You know what I'm saying? They more of the holiness of the land than any Israel. Israel has only been there since 1930 something. An invasion that it went in and built a place there called Israel. You know what I'm saying? Israel. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but when we look at it, you know what I'm saying? You know, we see the Creed Joe Biden form the support saying on Saturday that the U.S. stands with the state of Israel. But what about the state of the Palestinians? What about the state of the Lebanese? What about the Palestinians? You don't respect none of that, do you? Because the people that's in there are not what they say they are. They're just Caucasian white people. That you chumped up this new religion to send them in there to invade the land so you could have rights to keep going in there and pounding the shit out of the people, the original people, and the people who have been their neighbors for many years, whether they invaded or not. You know what I'm saying? But we know that Israel is not what you say it is, and stop saying that because your Bible have never proven that at all. You are just white people who invaded the land just like anyone else. And you have caused a lot of corruption in that area, saying on Saturday that the U.S. stands to support them 100%. Okay. But we see the writing on X, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter about Saturday attack that Mr. Cross, Moskrowski or whatever his name is, responds to the post about the announcement by Israel warning Palestinians, you know what I'm saying, in Gaza to leave as a as it prepares to launch an attack. Oh yeah, but you don't belong there. You don't belong there. So you have invaded these people's land and now you're oppressing them and doing war with them. And then you're calling them terrorists after you invaded into their land. And African people as a whole, digging up their bodies and selling them for years and all kinds of nasty, gutter trash, disrespectfulness of the glory of Egypt. You could tell they did not build none of it because if they did, they wouldn't do that. They're invaders, period. And they've always been. You know what I'm saying? They've always been. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why they're going to keep on doing this over and repeatedly and over and repeatedly. They're not going to change. You know what I'm saying? In no shape or form.